I'm gonna show you how to disable the onboard memory or onboard RAM on a laptop. This Asus laptop keep freezing and also give a lot of random blue screen. Something like that. And after running some tests, I found that the problem is caused by the memory or the RAM on this laptop. I'm gonna use the term memory or RAM interchangeably here, so you know when I say memory or RAM, it's the same thing. This laptop has two sets of memory. One is removable memory, the one that you can easily remove. And the other set is onboard memory or onboard RAM, where the memory chips are soldered into the motherboard and cannot be removed. When all the memory is installed, the removable and also the onboard memory, we can see that we have the total of 8 GB of memory. Total memory 8,192 megabyte or 8 GB of memory. And without this removable memory and only onboard memory or onboard RAM on the laptop, we can see that the size of the memory is now 4,096 megabyte or 4 GB. That means the size of this onboard memory or onboard RAM is 4 GB. Let's take the motherboard out from the laptop and I'll show you how to disable the onboard memory so we can fix this laptop. And as you can see here, there are also 4 memory chips soldered into the board on the other side of the motherboard. To disable the onboard memory or onboard RAM, we need some proper tools such as soldering iron, hot air station, microscope, and we also need the board view of the motherboard. Without the board view, we will not be able to locate the specific components that we need to work on. We got everything ready, and now let's start fixing this motherboard. First, we want to open the board viewer software. From here, we click File, Open, and I'm gonna select the board viewer file for the motherboard. This motherboard is Asus UX303UB. This one right here. I'm gonna click Open. And from here, I'm gonna position the board view to match the location or the position of the motherboard on the table right here. From here, I want to, let's say, flip the board horizontally, and looking at this, I'm gonna rotate it like this. Here's the CPU and the memory slots. All right, as you can see here, I have the CPU right here, and on the right side of the CPU, I have a memory slot right here and 4 memory chips. And on the board viewer software, I have the CPU right here, and on the right side of it, I have this memory slots and 4 memory chips. So what I see on the board viewer software on the computer, it is matching with the motherboard on my table. From here, we want to click on this empty box right next to nets. Gonna click on this one here, and we want to type dim_cell. DIMM_SEL. DIM is dual inline memory module _cell, SEL. I think SEL means selector. I'm not 100% sure, but I think DIMM-SEL means memory selector or DIM selector. You will see that there are 3 of them: DIM cell 0, DIM cell 1, and DIM cell 2. All right, let's start with DIM cell 0 first. Gonna click on this one here, and then on the right side we want to click on this one right here, net. Click on that one, and as you can see, there are 3 components that is connected to DIM cell 0: R2141 or resistor 2141, and R2164 or resistor 2164. While editing the video, I noticed that I forgot to mention the last component that is connected to DIM cell 0. I said earlier on the video that there are 3 components that is connected to DIM cell 0: R2141, R2164, but I forgot to mention this last component right here. This component right here, the last component, U0301, is the processor. Alright, in this video, I'm gonna ignore the processor because we are going to work only on the resistor, R2141 and R2164. Alright, let's go back to the video. R2141, when we click on it, it's gonna show you the location of the components on the board. Let's zoom it in. When we click on this one here, this is the location of R2141, which is 10 kilo ohms resistor, R2141 right here. Alright. Let's see under the microscope and locate this R2141. There's a big CPU right there. Let's go down a little bit. It is gonna be around here. Let's go back to the board view. So it is gonna be on in between these two connector, and you can see there's like a, I think it's like 6-legged chip right here. Let's see, on in between these two, this is the connector 1 and 2, and there are like a 6-legged components right here. Go back here, and right in on the left side of this 6-legged component, you're gonna see this 1 and 2 thing. There we go. And I believe this one right here, this right here, it is the component that we are looking for. This one right here, R2141, is this one here. All right. The other component that we need to see is R2164, which is at the bottom of it, but on the left side, this one right here. But as you can see on the info, it is empty, right? Let's go right here. This is the resistor that we see, R2141. And this is supposed to be where the R2164 is located, but it is empty. It is gonna be a lot of going back and forth between the microscope view and also the board view. So please hang on for a little bit, right? So these two are the location of the components that we are looking at. This one right here, R2141, have like a 10 kilo ohms resistor, and this one right here, it is empty. To disable the onboard RAM, we need to remove this resistor, the 10 kilo ohm resistor, from R2141 and move it or solder it to this R2164. This one right here, this is the 10 kilo ohm resistor, right? I need to desolder this resistor and move it here, solder it right here. I'm gonna put some tape right here so it won't burn the connector. Gonna zoom it in a little bit. All right, let's double check the board view to make sure that we do the right thing. All right, so this one right here, R2141, that have 10 kilo ohm resistor right here, we're gonna desolder it and move it or solder it right here, which is R2164. There we go. Let's put some flux. There you go. Now this R2141 resistor is no longer there, and I remove it and solder it to this R2164. The resistor is no longer there, and I move it down here. It's not here anymore, and I move it down here. Alright, now let's proceed to dim cell 1. Click on that one. There you go. Just conveniently right next to it. On this one right here, we have R2165. Right here, R2165 that have 10 kilo ohm resistor, and R2166 that is empty. Right here we have R2165. Right here, this is R2165, and we're gonna move it on the left side right here. There you go, done. Right, so what we just did is we moved this 10 kilo ohm resistor from R2165 to R and solder it back to R2166. The resistor that was here is moved here. Alright, next you want to select dim cell 2. Right here there are two components for the dim cell 2, R2159 and R2163. Let's see on the board, which is right here. This one right here is the location of R2159, and this one right here is the location of R2163. Alright, I'm gonna remove the resistor from R2163 and move it or solder it to R2159 right here. There you go. Alright, so I removed the resistor from R2163 right here. It is too loud. So I removed the resistor from R2163 right here and solder it to R2159 right here. Alright, I removed the resistor right here and solder it to here. Alright, with all the back and forth between the board view and also the microscope view, it is gonna be a little bit confusing for some people. So I'm gonna try to explain it in the simpler way that I can explain. Alright? When you search for dim cell 0, dim cell 1, and dim cell 2, the board view is going to show you two locations of the components. Right? One of them is gonna be empty, and the other one, there's gonna be 10 kilo ohms resistor. What you want to do is desolder that 10 kilo ohms resistor and solder it to the empty location. You do that to dim cell 0, dim cell 1, dim cell 2, and if there's any dim cell 3, dim cell 4, dim cell 5, you move the 10 kilo ohm resistor to the empty location. Alright, I hope that's gonna be easier to understand. Alright, let's put everything back together, and if we are good, then the onboard memory on this laptop is not gonna be detected by the laptop. I'm gonna install this removable memory to the laptop, because if we successfully disabled the onboard memory on this motherboard, then the onboard memory is not gonna be recognized by the laptop, and the laptop need a memory to show the display or to boot up. So let's install this to the motherboard or to the laptop, and let's see if the onboard memory is still recognized by the laptop, or if the laptop only recognizing this removable memory. There you go. Total memory 4096 megabyte or 4 gigabyte. As you can see, the laptop only recognizing this removable memory, but not the onboard memory. This removable memory is, as you can see, 4 GB of memory, and that's what recognized by the BIOS. 4096 megabyte is 4 GB. And there you go. The onboard memory on this laptop is now disabled. Some people disabled the onboard memory by modifying the BIOS file, but the problem is, as soon as there's a BIOS update or as soon as the BIOS is updated, the onboard RAM is gonna be recognized again and the problem is gonna come back again. So I don't like to do that. That's it for now, and I'll see you on the next video.